Yo, what's going on, guys?
How we doing, man?
Doing awesome. Hey, well, welcome everybody to Team Anvil's first official podcast, Hammered Out. Everybody clap.
There it is.
There we go. All right. So, for all of you that are tuning in or that'll watch this, most of you at this point probably know who we are. And if you don't, it's because you don't personally know us. And I assume that most people that are watching have already met us. Now, if that's not the case, welcome to our chat. And today's going to be a little different. We're just going to kind of go through, introduce you to the team. We got a little bit of audio and video issues going on. We have two guys that couldn't make it due to technical issues, but let's just get into it, right? So my name is Emmett Jarvis. I am one of the founders of Team Anvil, and doesn't really matter what my past life was, but career infantry, U.S. Army, medically retired in 2020, and here we are now. And my dog, of course, waited until we went live to go straight to the dog bowl and get hydrated. I love that dog.
Yeah, that guy wasn't Army.
No, he was not. Maybe Italian, but
Hydrated.
hydrated or die. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, big career. Doesn't really matter now because that was my past life, and yeah, so started it. We'll just pass the torch over to Jake. Go ahead, Jake.
Hey, how you guys doing, man? Me and Evan met back in the day, back in our previous lives at the U.S. Army recruiting school, and kind of formed a friendship then. And then we went on with our careers, and we moved on and met each other again, and we started talking, and we met George. You know, you guys will meet him in a second if you haven't met him. He's the life of the party for sure. And he's going to drink it all, isn't he? But anyways,
He's gonna drink it. Oh yeah, dude. I'm so sorry.
but yeah, it's great to be here, and we like rekindled our friendship a little bit, and we grew up counties next door in Ohio, and we started talking, and we were both kind of on the same little path of what are we going to do, and we kind of threw together this Anvil thing. It was something he was doing, and we wanted to help, and kind of here we are. I didn't know I was live.
Yeah. You're live, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, that's me, and we'll go on with George. Great guy. Glad to have met him.
Oh, yeah, that's my turn. So I'm George. I mean, like Emmett said, some of you guys know me, some of you guys don't. But I'm George, affectionately known as the tall guy, sometimes the handlebar mustache guy, the guy that's got jokes. Also an infantryman in a past life, it seems. I don't have as much experience as Jake and Emmett do, but whatever, you know. It's still from the same lineage. I met Emmett kind of by luck. Didn't really know him, didn't grow up around him, anything like that. And just we lived in the same neighborhood. And it's sort of like, you know, whatever the phrase is, we can smell our own kind. Just kind of saw each other and we're like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? And then it kind of just grew from there.
Should have taken better showers.
Well, whatever. They didn't teach us that.
Yeah, so who we don't like, thanks for introducing yourselves. Who we don't have is like Alex, who is our LE dude, and then Devin, who is one of our competition shooter guys. That pretty much rounds out our team. So like real quick for those that are watching, first time tuning in, you kind of want to know what is Team Anvil. I'll let everybody else take a shot at it. Actually, you know what? Somebody else, like, who wants to answer that one? What do you think?
Ooh, what is it? Did we dive into that just a second ago, maybe?
I mean, go ahead, Jake.
It's a variety of things, really, because we do, you know, from my personal favorite is the first-time shooters, the people that are kind of like wary about guns, whatever they've heard, or, oh man, they're big, bad, scary things. And it's not all those things. I mean, they're tools to be used, whether you're a competition guy, whether you're doing personal defense, whether you've never touched one and you want to learn and see what it's about, and kind of dispel the myths of, oh, it's not that bad. And like one of my favorites that we did over the past year was with Margot. Like, never touched one in her life. Went out there, had a great day at the range, learned all the things that she had to do, and you could see the progression and the growth from the first 30 minutes to the next hour. You can see not only her confidence building, but her actual proficiency building. And, that's my personal favorite, getting out there with the first timers, or, the inexperienced some. And another great note is that one young guy that came out with us from the anti-bullying group, Kate, never shot, so she says.
Yeah.
And dude, she was just on fire with the Texas Star. Like, what? Like, not only did she give some of us a run for our money, she literally just beat the brakes off of us.
She beat dudes that have been shooting for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, even some of the old timers, I've never really messed with a Texas Star, but the one guy, Steve, out there, he has, he's an old school shooter, and she took him down. I was like, wow. I'm like, those are the moments for me that I like. But I won't speak on what we do with the law enforcement groups, or anything like that. But yeah, that's my favorite, is getting out there with novice or new experienced shooters, and kind of show them the ropes and making them more confident and proficient. That's just me. That's what kind of gives me joy about Team Anvil.
I agree. To kind of expand on that even a little bit more, I it's the same thing. I feel the same way about it. I really like it when we're teaching somebody that doesn't have a lot of background or experience, and then we're not reinventing the wheel here. So we're not teaching them something that's just impossible for anyone to learn, and we're just showing them that
anybody can do it.
Yeah, when they start seeing those improvements, and when they start seeing the training sort of takes hold, and they're actually applying what we're teaching them, and then they have that aha moment, and they look around, they're ecstatic, because they didn't realize they were capable of doing something.
Absolutely.
I like that. That feels really good.
Yeah. And we've seen it on paper. We've seen it on the firing line, of where, you see the confidence build over a span of, for some shooters, some guys or gals will, they'll grab a pistol and they'll come naturally, and you'll see improvements within 15, 30 minutes, because, it takes hold. Some need longer, not a big deal. But either way, you see that, like you said, the aha moment, when you're just like, there it is. That's what I like, because it's dispelling the myths, and also that personal confidence of, this is something I thought that I couldn't do, and look at me, I'm doing it, and I'm doing it with these guys. And I like to think that we're all pretty cool, and teach well and keep everybody within the loop. And hey, there you go. See, everybody can do it, man. Don't beat yourself up over it, because I see that a lot, where people are like, oh my gosh, this is so overwhelming. This is the first time I ever touched a firearm. It's not a big deal, man. Anybody can do it.
Yeah, the way I described it to one person who, I was trying to teach them something, and they figured it out eventually, but they were having a hard time, they were still overthinking or whatever it was, and they were he said, it's easy for you to say, you make it look easy. And I was like, well, the only difference between you and me is reps. And that's literally it.
It's like doing curls.
Yeah, and he just he stopped for a second, and he goes, it never occurred to him. I was like, that's literally the only difference, is just, I've done what I'm trying to teach you. I've done it thousands of more times than you have, and that's why I make it look easier, because I've just done it. I've got the reps in. And he was just like, oh, and it just he did the famous Jarvis head tilt, and it finally sunk in. And he was like, okay, and then he stopped fighting it, and then he picked it up a lot faster that way.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a good explanation. I'm not even going to add anything to any of that, because I feel like that's good enough. So I'll just kind of tell people what I feel like the mission of Team Anvil is. And it really is pretty simple. We just want to be able to bring quality training to people for an affordable price. right? We want to be able to build a community of people that are willing to, sharpen each other through those repetitions, through like great conversation, through, community involvement and leadership, and be like advocates and sterling examples in the 2A community. And as veterans, because that's what we are, a lot of our country expected a lot from us when we were in, and our community and our country still looks at us to be good examples. And whether or not we live up to that or not all the time is, another thing, but another story for another day. But, I think that's a pretty noble mission for like any company or group to have. Pretty honored to be a part of that. So, I'm pretty honored to like, these guys are like all real humble too. So like for any of you that's like watching this, you're going to be like, oh man, a lot of people like want me to be the face all the time, but these guys, they're grinders. They get after it and they're super humble. So, definitely honored to be a part of something way bigger than myself, which is why it's called a team, right? So, anywho, I don't know. Is my audio on?
Your audio is fine.
Oh man, I made both of you speechless. That's crazy.
I had that country internet lag.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what we'll blame it on. All right, cool. So we have a website. It's www.teamanvilhq.com, and on there, here come January 3rd, we will have up on it our current schedule for like all upcoming training events that we're going to be doing in the future, which I'm pretty excited about. I don't know about you guys. We kind of started this, about a good, if you count like officially, we've been in business since April. But unofficially, we've been doing this for about a year and a half, so having like an actual course description for like all of our courses has been huge. Being able to get that out is going to be awesome. And we're going to have Pistol 1, Pistol 2, like a little bit beyond CHL. So here in the state of Ohio, we have the concealed handgun license. You don't have to go get that now, but if you want to travel to a state that doesn't have their own concealed carry law in place, then you're going to have a concealed handgun license so that you can, have reciprocity or share reciprocity with that state. And all that means is they accept your current state, your residency requirements to carry a concealed handgun. That's all it means. So, geez, that's kind of like what got us all started, isn't it? Like CHL, like what garbage it is.
Yeah, it's that's kind of how it all started, and then constitutional carry happened, which is I'm obviously pro, and everybody was always asking us, is like, hey, isn't that going to bother you guys? Isn't that going to figure? Like, no. My response is like, hey, check it out, like, hey, it's your constitutional right to carry, in my opinion, and the Constitution's opinion, as far as I'm concerned. However, you should have some training, because God forbid. That day comes where, shots are sent. When you go into court, you might be criminally cleared, but will you be civilly cleared? No. You're gonna have another court battle to deal with, and you should have as much, basically a paper trail saying it's like, yes, I took the time to know what I was doing and take some training. And, I put in the reps, not only the mental reps of, knowing the laws, but, the physical reps of being able to, draw from concealment or draw from open if you're one of those types, and, effectively put rounds where they need to be. So that's the first thing that's going to be questioned. Like, were you just some, rando thinking you were going to be a Rambo, or did you actually take what we do seriously? I took it seriously. I took some classes, even though I didn't have to, because those are the first questions that I believe they're going to be asked. And I'm not the only one that says this. This isn't making it up. Like, people that have YouTube videos and are lawyers say these things. So I'll listen to them. They're lawyers in the gun community, so yeah, they probably know what they're talking about. That's just my opinion, and I agree with him.
No, I agree. It's the same thing, like, because I've been asked the same question too. Like, are you worried that, since it's constitutional carry, they just assume that if you're somehow in the gun industry, that all you're going to do is CHL classes and things like that. I mean, there's some people that probably were making a living from just that, and that's fine, not knocking that, but it's kind of one dimensional. But it's the same thing, like you were saying, like, just because you can carry doesn't mean that you're ready to or that you're capable of it on a level above just having the firearm on you. It's like buying a guitar doesn't make me a guitarist.
Absolutely.
That I own a guitar, and I own a guitar, and I probably can't even play Mary Had a Little Lamb on that thing if you paid me to, because it's difficult.
Dude, like, so one of the things that I came to find out, like, through hanging out a bunch of the competition shooters, right? Like, once we kind of started meeting some of those guys, like Chris from the 740, he's out there in the chat. If you guys
Chris?
like, I'm not like trying to plug a bunch of people, but like, if you guys get a chance, stop by that guy's channel. He has like a lot of awesome stuff on like pretty much everything from reloading to like competitive shooter isms, and just, it's a good channel. So one of the things that like I really took away from like the competitive shooting world versus like the warfighter world is like drilling down on the very basic things. Like, okay, we understand how to execute a trigger press, but like when these guys are like flying through stages, a lot of it, like, some people are going to eat us up in the comment section probably for saying point shooting, but you get in there and you really start you start flying around these stages, man. You realize real quick that you have to be like front sight focused. Now you rip that out of a competitive like standpoint, man. You put that into a practical. I need one of those guards, I think, so I don't say. But you put that into a practical application, like you're coming out of a Walmart or you're in a place, and now all of a sudden you got to pull that firearm from concealment, defeat the holster, and like go into action. Are you really telling me you're going to get all your sights lined up like perfectly and all these other things? Like, you're really going to think through that? I don't know.
It's fluid, right? Because then, and I'm not knocking the competition world, because a lot of those guys are really great shooters, but it's an event, right? It's not the same as being out on the street, out with your family, out in the wild, so to speak, and then something pops off that way. It's, there's no timer the bad guy's not carrying a pack timer.
Well, no, like, I didn't mean it like that. I meant like, and we've had this conversation. I don't mean it like that. I mean, like, the amount of drilling down that the average competitive shooter does.
Yeah.
To get to the point where they can, like, I told Chris from the 740 this, like, when I was watching, he shoots a pistol caliber carbine for most of his stuff. And I was like, man, I haven't seen a dude that didn't work with a rifle for a living move as good as he does, around. Like, he works himself around that rifle, very well. And I know it's a pistol technically, but dude, like, the amount of hours it takes to drill down on any one of the skills involved in shooting accurately and precisely, like, a lot of kudos. So, like, when you have a concealed handgun licensing course and all of a sudden, like, 6 out of the 8 hours is classroom, and you're learning calibers and basic law and characteristics, capabilities of, different pistols or revolvers, and then you have one instructor for like 12 students to go to a range and demonstrate basic pistol proficiency, dude, that, like, everybody we've ever talked to, and we've already had this conversation, but for the rest of the world, like, you can echo this, like, nobody gets anything out of concealed handgun licensing courses. Like, nobody gets anything out of it.
Not really, no.
So are you any more prepared to draw your handgun, your pistol from concealment and engage a live target like after going to a CHL course, or do you need more training?
More reps.
Yeah, always reps.
Yeah.
Eric, what's up, buddy? Spectre Solutions, what's going on?
What? Yo.
Try firing.
Yeah. So that's like a big reason how like we got started. We just had like a bunch of family members and people that we knew that were like, hey, we went to this course and we can carry a handgun now legally, but we don't feel that confident. So what do we do? And it's like,
That's when we go. I'm glad you asked. You should come with us to the range now.
yeah. All right. So I'm kind of like doing this side chat thing at the same time. So if you
Yeah.
see like my thing rocking, it's because like I'm typing, but so anywho, so that's how Team Anvil kind of got started. And then, you know, something else that is like a little bit less popular to talk about is we kind of saw like a void in law enforcement. It's nothing against law enforcement, but those guys get like kind of like, you know, like an infantryman that's supposed to go overseas and like defend America goes through one station unit training. And it's like 4 months of 9 weeks of it is basic combat training, right? You're going to learn, you know, all your drill and ceremony. You're going to learn how to be a soldier, be disciplined, on time, how to shave, how to do your boots, uniforms, all that stuff, right? Then the next like couple months is going to be all combat focused, right? Like drilling down on how to shoot, you know, but it's basics. You know, it's not advanced. Like you do have BRM and ARM, but whatever. Moral to the story is nobody's coming out of one station unit training an expert ready to go.
You don't show up to your unit ready to take charge.
No. So, you know, with law enforcement, kind of the same thing. You know, they have a lot of weight on their shoulders because they go through OPATA certifications and qualifications, the academy, and then boom, right? They're out there and they might have a field training officer for what, like, you know, what, 6 months or so. And then they're on their own. And by the way, they don't show up to work every single day and have to go through like qualification. They don't have to drill down and demonstrate like daily, weekly, or monthly proficiency. They have to demonstrate like annual proficiency. And so the unfortunate thing is for like most PDs, anyways, in our area,
well, and I think another problem I have is the budgeting, right?
Yeah.
You know, I can't speak for a lot of different agencies, but I know from just other podcasts that I've heard and listened to and things like that, that it's a budget issue too. Like they, some of them, they don't have the budget to allot for officers to train on company time. Some of those guys, I mean, a lot of the guys that we work with, they train on their time.
Yeah, a lot of it's out of pocket for them. That's the same that I've talked to in my area.
Yeah.
They love to do it. And most of the guys that we've met and most law enforcement, you know, that I've met, you know, they're serious about it. And they do take the time. But like you said, I mean, how much is that a deterrent for a lot of guys that, you know, it's not coming from, you know, Uncle Sam or the government, whatever. They got to do it on their time. And that gets expensive for some dudes, you know. Plus, they're trying to, you know, they're trying to do their cop thing, you know. How many hours are working job? Yeah. But yeah, that's what I've heard too off the street is like, hey, it's like, how's your guys' training schedule? Or like, what are you doing? It's like, oh man, it's all us. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. Right on. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, sky's the limit at that point, but it is on your time.
It sucks that they have to do it on their time, but like I mean, you're right though. I mean, it just means that there's no one that can tell them no either. As far as like them training, their like training's on them, then that just means that there's no way they can tell them, hey, we don't have a budget for that. where you can't do that training, and they just go, well, I'm doing it on my time. So that's a plus, but it is unfortunate that it's sort of like if you've got 100 guys in one agency, I don't think 100 of them are all on the same page in that regard, and that sucks.
Yeah, I can imagine that's a huge issue. But yeah, I was just going off like some of the smaller in our areas, the rural guys. There was like, yeah, no, we pay for everything. I'm like, man, that sucks. That's just, I think they should have more or have access to more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna let somebody else digest this one. But that's a good question. Yeah, so like one of our goals coming out with Team Anvil was to be able to partner with and assist like our local law enforcement partners. We have a lot of knowledge, we have a lot of training, and we have a lot of experience. And if we can give that, we're willing to give that away for free to like law enforcement and military guys around us, because it's like they need it. They don't have the resources or the budget typically, like we've already kind of discussed and covered. So that was like a big goal, and that's kind of how we ended up like getting started out. Really, like it was almost exhausting because we were doing so much like military and law enforcement training that we almost didn't have time for like the other stuff, which is what we were really passionate about as well, as far as like, like the civilian side, like the everyday carrier. So can any of you explain? I'm going to read it out loud. Everybody can see it, but I got to read it out loud to hear it in my own head. But can any of you explain what the mentality may be behind not being able to have your CCW or CHLs as well as your green card? Posed to the experts, could it be along the lines of OVIs or mishandling of a firearm under the influence?
So I think that's in reference to the green card of people with their medical marijuana card.
Oh.
Because I know in the state of Ohio, I don't know how that is now. I'm sure it probably hasn't changed, but I know that, excuse me, before, if you had your CHL or CCW, you couldn't have your medical card at the same time, or you had to choose one or the other. If you had one, it negated the other. I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know.
That was my understanding.
Yeah, I think it probably still applies now. Like it's probably still like but with it being a constitutional carry state, I don't know if that still applies now. I don't know.
Yeah, so like I'm not a lawyer, and Eric just kind of answered it. But like I was about to jump in, but yeah, so like you can have one or the other. You can't have both.
Yeah.
So I'm not a lawyer either, and for everybody that watches this, yeah, definitely like look stuff up, like reach out to a lawyer or whatever, like double check it, like fact check it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my understanding right now in the state of Ohio is that you have to pick like one or the other. You can't have both. It's just like you're not supposed to drink, and carry a concealed firearm either, right? So yeah, I don't know.
It's a good question, though.
It is a good question. So we're right at the halfway point, and that's pretty awesome. We've gotten a lot covered. Ammo isn't exactly cheaper anymore. Very cost prohibitive. Man, you ain't lying. Like, I think like probably the first year of probably my pistol journey, right, was insane amounts of dry reps, right? Like just dry firing.
And like, a few poorly purchased firearms.
Let's not get into that.
Just
one. Yeah, just one. I don't want to.
It was just one.
Let's just leave that alone, because like, what?
Well, that's a private conversation.
Maybe they improve their stock. I don't know.
Fingers crossed.
All right. It's not actual grown marijuana. It's the vape pens as well. Oh yeah.
I would say that drugs and alcohol and firearms generally do not mix.
Well, there's a reason why they have the 3-letter agency for that, right?
Yeah. So civilian side transition, absolute suck fest out of the military because of ammunition and firearms costs. Hate that I don't get free belts and belts for my, my free MSO M60. Yeah. Amen to
The good
that
old
there,
days.
Clayton.
The good old days of the M60. Oh, the hog.
So that's good. Like that's a good transition point to kind of go into the mission of Team Anvil. So this is a rare, like what we're doing right here is a panel. There are other people that are doing like this style of podcasting, and it's good for their content. We will do this once a month. The rest of our podcasts, we're going to be drilling down on like really talking about subjects that maybe nobody really wants to talk about, which for a lot of us that came from the military, what we ended up doing, we were really good at being war fighters, right? Like we were so good at it because we had an amazing team around us that allowed us to hyper focus on war fighting tasks. Now, when we go to get out, all of a sudden we think we're going to be like a one-man successful team and do it all on our own. And then we find out real fast and furious that like, nah, man, like we need a team, even more so like getting out and transitioning out of the military, just like we did when we were in, or if not more. So we're going to kind of drill into some of those issues. And really, we want to be like, a place where other people can kind of come and know just by listening to us talk about our experiences and stories that like you're not alone out there, right? Like, and I'm talking to like veterans, first responders, dudes, whatever, right? Like you're not alone. You're not alone. Dry firing is key. That was kind of deep. All right. Anybody else want to comment on that? No?
Jamie says his wife doesn't like the dry firing practice as much. Well, get her a pistol so you can practice with you.
The SIRT pistol is the ultimate tool to sit around your house and dry fire and practice.
Yes, it is.
I picked one up. I don't even remember how long ago, about 6 months ago, and it's like one of those things. I think me and Emmett fight over who has it and who gets to play with it more. But like, it's pretty. It's a great tool, man. No, I'm just making jokes, but it's a great thing to sit around, like and you can get them in. Well, the one that I got's a Glock 17. I don't carry that, but that's a common one, so I went with it. And it's a great tool if you're just sitting around a house and it gives you immediate feedback. And I'm not plugging them or advertising or sponsoring anything like that, but I bought one. I think they're great, especially when we get into the the very new shooters. Hey, give them that thing. It's got a drop magazine, kind of similar weight, and see the green laser and the red laser, and it's like, okay, it's not so bad. Okay, now we're going to go to dry fire with a real pistol, and now we're going to do some live rounds if it has to go that far. Most people are just like, I just bought a new gun and I want to shoot it. All right, no worries. But it's also a great training aid because, well, it gets you a little bit more comfortable with it. And even for the more experienced guys, I can't count how many times that I just sat around and doing it, and it really kind of helped me with target acquisition as far as muscle memory and that reflex and getting that point aim like really down. Because I'm not a competition shooter by heart, but dude, that stuff it's pretty fun. I ain't gonna lie, like doing it. Well, I don't care what it is. If you're doing the stuff that Devin does, the USPSA, or what I kind of focus on is IDPA, like the old guy things. I thought it was a very good training aid, but that's just my piece on that.
Oh no, for sure. I love that thing, man. I mean, I think, yeah,
It's
I
cool.
do. I have it right now. Like, where's it's
Right?
in the closet? Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I need to borrow that soon.
Yeah, no, you got to come get it. No.
Come on, it's my turn.
Don't stop being selfish. Nah, but for real, like, yeah, man. So there's a lot of good comments in here. But that's like what I want to be for like people, man. I want to be like a source of community and without it getting too mushy and all that stuff. But what is she saying? So can you use this point? All right. So Silent Legion Project, we're gonna do next week's episode is gonna be all about Silent Legion Project. It's an event that we just got done executing. What, like last Saturday, right?
Yes.
Second annual.
Second annual Silent Legion project.
Not last Saturday.
And like
Saturday
really, like
before that.
let's not forget, Silent Legion was kind of pre-Team Anvil. Like that was kind of the brainchild, the Silent Legion project, which led into the stepping stones of Team Anvil. And last year went, so great. And then I'm very excited to see what happened this year. Like, the footage drop. I'm very kind of like excited to see that. But yeah, that was just my little thing. Like, let's not forget, Silent Legion was kind of the start.
Yeah, it was kind of the genesis of everything. Because we had a bunch of dudes that were like going through some stuff at the time. Like we're always going through stuff, not like dramatically, you know what I mean? Like, and it was just like, hey, you know what? Like, let's do a morale event, right? Like, let's go sharpen each other up, like get some good training in, and then go get some really good food afterwards. And yeah, it was I think 8 of us, right? So 8 of us actually went last year and did it, and then we had 20-30 people that were like, whoa, why didn't we know about this, man? We totally would have wanted to go. And then we're like, all right, cool, so we'll do it next year. And so we did it this year. Huge success. We packed it out, right? We had 26 people show up to the event, and then we had 14 different sponsors for the event. And we were able to donate $1,000 to outofdarkness.org, which is a nonprofit for anti-human trafficking. So,
yes,
yeah. So that was huge, right? Because being able to give back in a meaningful way it's a big deal. And the amount of people that kind of showed up that, we're just like, hey, you know what? We want to be a part of this. It's a good cause, and it's only going to help other people. It's not about me. It was an honor to be a part of. And but yeah, that's how it all got started, and we'll keep going. As long as everybody divorced middle-aged poors. What? We'll keep going as long as we can with it. Like that's such a random thing, Clayton. It's I don't.
Yes, we're definitely doing it again next year, Mary.
Yes, we are. And next year, actually, we're going to be doing a 2-day event. So we had over 30 people that were on standby trying to get into this year's event, and it was insane. I couldn't believe it. So it was a huge blessing to be a part of it, and just be associated with, being able to make a huge impact in people's lives. So one at a time, right? So next year we probably won't. Maybe we don't donate to the same charity. Maybe we focus on a different charity, like veteran suicide charities or Gold Star Family Charity. For local like law enforcement, because they have Gold Star communities as well. For police officers and first responders that die in the line of duty. So, we'll figure out something super worthy to donate that money to, though, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I say run it like blackjack. If it keeps growing, it's like, yeah, we keep donating to this one, we keep donating to that one, and like I think it's a beautiful thing from like where it started.
Yeah, definitely, man. He said, Clayton's like, I don't make it to events in Columbus because I'm broke all the time. Okay, well.
Well, the Silent Legion project was in Lima, so that might be closer to you. We haven't really done anything technically in Columbus yet, have we?
No. Well, word on the street is Midwest Shooting Center is going to be building a facility in Columbus, but they're not going to have a Simunitions shooting center.
Why?
I don't know.
Because
I guess
they want us to.
Yeah, they want us to do it. Yeah, they're like, nah, man, we're gonna let you guys build it. Donate to LEO only. They provide Christmas for families of fallen officers as well as scholarships for this shit. Dude, that's what's up. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know who Angry Sarge is, I'm not gonna name drop his real name, but like he's another Purple Heart guy, super humble, doesn't really talk about his experience, man. He's like a super good we recently kind of connected, but like he's another one of the brothers from the family of Purple Heart Rangers. So welcome to the chat, big guy. Good to have you. And he's like, that's the last time I'm going to get on theirs, getting spotlighted. No. All right, there's some good orgs already. Yeah. Yeah, so that's good. All right, so we kind of already covered upcoming training events, like some of the charities that we've been wrapped up in over the last year. We're going to be doing that again next year. Kind of already talked about courses we plan on introducing come the next calendar year. Hey, thanks, Chris, for coming out and supporting our first launch, man. Definitely appreciate you and what you do for the community, and happy to have you here, man. Thanks a lot. So with training, we're going to offer pistol classes or courses, rifle courses, and night vision training. A lot of that night vision is going to be very basic. It's going to be like introduction to how to use night vision, how to use lasers, optics, passive and active shooting, stuff like that. It may be kind of over your head right now, but those are like little things we're going to do. We're not going to get too far, into the weeds about night vision. There's other great companies out there that have like over 40 years of combined experience living under night vision, one of which is Strategic Dark Solutions. They're up in Northern Ohio. You can find them on Instagram. I think it's like Strategic Dark or whatever on Instagram and whatnot. But those dudes are ballers. They've been doing it. They've been out of the military for a few years, and they've been nonstop instructing. They're even instructing law enforcement agencies down in Arkansas, Georgia, and other states. But anyways, we're not going to go crazy with it like they are, but that's just kind of pretty much what we're going to stick to. We do offer other like services, like what we do, personal consulting. Like we'll come to your house and like come up with a security assessment for your house, help you train, like what to do in case of emergency in your house to be better prepared. And then we work with law enforcement, military, and the everyday carrier mostly now. So you guys want to add anything to that?
Anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
I think there's a competition aspect. Comp shooting's great. Like, just even if you're an everyday carrier, and this is something I loved about Richwood Gun and Game Club, was you go out there and like see their the events that they put forward, and you see young boys and girls out there running competition lanes, and you're like, oh, it's just them sport shooting. Yeah, okay. But the fundamentals, i.e. the fundamentals are there. All of the skills that it takes to do those simple baseline tasks are all the things that you should know how to do as a shooter. And people get a little intimidated by it, but it's like, no, put the buzzer on them. The neuralizer. I mean, me, G, and Emmett do this to it all the time. Man, once that buzzer goes off, and Devin knows more than any of us, is it kind of puts that little bit of stress to make sure that is what you learned or is what you're doing, the way you're carrying and shooting, under stress, a little bit of time, is everything stay refined? And that's something that I learned, over the course. And I've been around, firearms for a while, but it was something I learned. It was competition was a reality check for me. Slow is smooth is fast, and then focus on your fundamentals. And I think it applies both ways. And I love seeing young kids getting out there, or first-time shooters, and they're just like, yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this competition. You're just like, get you some, son. That's good.
They're going to learn one way or another.
Yeah, I really never had a whole lot of exposure to that world either until fairly recently.
It's fun. I love having you out there.
Yeah, we're just eyeballing and wargaming it as you're waiting on your turn.
Yeah, I was just like, why? It's like, George, you should totally be out here doing this, man. You got a way better mind for it than I do.
I really want to do it.
It's fun.
I think I'm going.
Devin
I
knows.
probably will when they start. They'll probably start doing them again in the spring. I'll probably do one just to. Why not? Let's find out, right?
I mean, it's a great time.
You got to earn it, right? Did you earn it? Prove it, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
be a
Because
shirt.
I tell you what, there's some older guys out there that will knock your socks off. You're just like, oh, he's just an old guy, and oh, woof, look at him go. You're like, oh, yeah, accuracy's a little bit better than speed. He showed
Like
me today.
Fritz.
Oh
Fritz,
yeah,
that dude is. He's so good.
Fritz is
So-
the man.
He is the man. All right, so we already covered all that stuff. All right, let's cover viewer input. So we have a Patreon channel account that is set up, and we're going to be kind of like having like 3 different tiers of membership. And, just for the future, this is like the first podcast we're ever going to do. So you ever like found somebody's channel that like you found like after it had evolved into like what it is, and it's like really awesome, and then you watch like their first episode and you're like, oh, that's where they started. They've done a lot of improvement, right? This is our first, right? So when somebody goes back in time and watches this first video, you'll hear us talk about Patreon. And so we're going to have 3 different tiered levels. It's kind of funny because I have my big screen TV. It's like angled this way up on the wall. So everything is delayed by 3 seconds. So George's last photo or like frame was, and I was like, anyways,
Good times.
so we're gonna be wait, we got more people. Midwest and Lima they do. So here, I'm gonna put that on here real quick. Anyways, we're gonna, if you are our top tiered member, then that's going to give you direct access to us, the team. Twice a month, we'll do live VTCs where we get on video in a group chat and you ask us questions and we'll ask you questions. And then, if there's like certain drills that everybody wants to kind of see, or a drill for that month that you want to see, or something that you want us to drill down on for the Patreon group, then that's something that we're going to do for you. Level 2 is going to kind of give you the general access, and it'll give you sneak peeks. You'll get the inside scoop by 24 hours to any podcast that we drop or any training events that we drop. That way you can kind of get priority over that. And then level 1 or tier 1 is going to be mostly yeah, you ain't lying. Basic interaction stuff with videos and training and all that stuff. So we will link it in the next podcast, but we already have it set up and whatnot. But we will look for viewer input. This podcast is for you by us, right? So it's not just going to be a bunch of dudes, getting drunk, lighting up cigars, talking about war stories, right? Like we really want to make a pretty good impact, do good training and all that stuff, and make as big of a splash in the pond as we can. Only way we can do that is if we take your input and we run with it. So that'll be cool. Be good stuff. And last thing, let's talk about giveaways.
Oh,
All right.
there it was.
All right, so I'm looking at the subscriber channel right now to see how many subscribers we have right now. We may not be at 100, and that's fine. We're at 59. All right, so we have some tiers that we're going to be doing for giveaways. All right, and what I'm going to show you is not the closest giveaway, but this is motivation to get us there. All right, this right here is an LP1. All right, Promethean.
Oh my.
Yeah, from Lead and
there it
Steel.
That
Yeah,
is the
buddy.
new hotness.
The new hotness. Okay. All right. So this bad boy right here will be the 2,500 subscriber giveaway. With the LP1 Promethean, with that comes 2 other things. All right. You will get 1 free range day instruction with all of us here at Team Anvil. We'll get you set up with the Promethean. We'll get it on your gun, show you how to zero it if you don't already know how to, and run you through some drills that you're really going to be able to move forward with and build off of. 2, You're going to be able to meet and hang out with the CEO of Lead and Steel himself, and he'll be able to talk to you about the company, give you a tour of the company headquarters where they do all the stuff. So I'm pretty excited to be able to kind of drop that in here.
I want to win.
So yeah, I know. Like I want to win too, right?
As far as like anyone that doesn't know anything about the LP1, the Promethean LP1, fantastic optic. If you are unsure about it, go to Lead and Steel's channel. They did some very extensive torture testing with it, like completely unnecessary torture testing with it, and like very impressive.
Yeah, I'm actually spray paint. I have mine in the garage, like
drying
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but and that's something else that we're going to kind of bring to you here and there. I want to win.
Hey Kim, you should win.
Hey, Kim, she should win.
She should win.
And that's something that we're going to try and bring to you too. So like we're doing raffles. We're actually stay tuned into our Facebook page and whatnot for upcoming raffles. We actually have one coming up that we're launching tomorrow. Wait, tomorrow's Tuesday. No, today's Tuesday. Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. Yep. It'll be a lever action. 40, 45, I don't know, whatever. It's a lever action. I'll get the caliber for you. A show on guns, material, and such would be great for us guys. Yeah, and that's it right there, right? We're gonna give you a whole lot of information on not like theoretically like, hey, this sounds like a good idea, but guns, weapons, equipment that we currently use. So stay tuned for that.
Here's argue about stuff too.
Yeah. Get spicy in the comment section. All right.
Yeah.
We're okay with that. Not too spicy.
Not too spicy.
There are no rules in the comment section. All right. No rules. I just may not post it. But so for the 100 subscriber giveaway, George, go ahead and tell people what they're going to win for the 100 subscriber giveaway.
Shit conditioner is better, Mr. Milligan. Anyway. So for the 100 subscriber giveaway, it's going to be a t-shirt, the one that I'm wearing, and a hoodie also. Obviously, we'll have to get with whoever the winner is for their size and whatnot, but it will be the black Team Anvil t-shirt and the black hoodie. And that will be for the 100 subscriber giveaway. And then for, what is it, the
250?
250 will be a gun cleaning kit, if I'm not mistaken.
Gun cleaning kit with stickers.
Yeah, well, stickers, always with stickers.
Got to jiggle it up.
I have to look up the list again. I forget what all of them are. But the 250 will be, the gun cleaning kit. And then, what is there, 500?
Yeah, so hold up. I'll tell you right now what it is. All right, so oh no. All right, so the 500 subscriber will be a Pack Club Timer 3 or a Pack Club 3 timer. So that's a shot timer for all of you that are out there, maybe don't know what that is. That is how you measure yourself and how you get better. Yeah, the Silent Legion Project hoodies, we had a distributor issue, but they're coming. They should be here this week. So the Pack Club Timer will be the 500 subscriber giveaway. And then the 1,000 subscriber giveaway will be a concealed handgun, holster, and a free after CHL or beyond CHL course with Team Anvil. And then we already said 2,500 is going to be the LP1 and private session with Team Anvil and CEO of Lead and Steel. So it's going to be a pretty legit like giveaway cycle right there. So
we're just clearing the shelves, man.
Clearing the shelf for some new stuff. So yeah, I'm sorry, Matt. Like, I wish I'm not even gonna say who our distributor is because that would spotlight them, but things kind of, we had a hiccup, but we're on it. So
And yes, Kim, the hoodies are nice.
they are very nice. All right. So that handles giveaways. All right. And yeah, so I think we pretty much covered everything. The direction of our channel is to be like a place where people can come and get good information. We'll do reviews and stuff like that. Most of that will probably be on our Patreon. I don't know. Like, we like to drop hype videos here and there, but we're a little bit bigger than that. So, you know, we probably won't post as much of that like on YouTube anyways. It'll be mostly like podcast style stuff, reviews, unboxings. We'll have different, I don't know. We'll have different channels.
I'm going to say now that probably anything that has me in the thumbnail might not be that serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might want to just make my own fake reviews for products that I created.
Ghost products.
Yeah, this isn't real, but I'm going to review it anyway. Because you can't take yourself too serious.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through this. A show on guns, material, and such would be great for us guys. Without your knowledge, we could use advice on which gun, red dot, ammo, etc. to buy. There's so much variety out there. Yeah, Matt, you're not lying. There is a lot out there. Like, and you never know. So with this lead and steel Promethean that we have, like, everybody knows about EOTech. Everybody knows about Aimpoint. Everybody at this point probably even knows about Loophole or Vortex. You know, that they have their own like red dot or holographic sight. And there's like pros and cons to having a red dot sight versus a holographic sight. A lot of us that were in Trigicon as well. So a lot of us that were in the military, we have a lot of experience on like usually 3 to 4 of those, right? Like if you're on an SD platform, you're probably rocking like Vortex or Loopholes. If you're a typical grunt, you know, or warfighter or just basic soldier, I think even, you know, they have Aimpoint, red dot, like M67's reflex sights, and then Trigicon ACOGs. Or EOTech, EXPS3s, you know, 2s and 3s and whatnot. So the list goes on. You know, if you're special operations, you can pretty much pick whatever you want. So like LCANs, and the list goes on, man. Like, gets pretty spicy. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. So with this guy kind of coming in to the conversation as far as relevancy in the red dot market, I'll tell you what, like, I was around when these guys started doing their product development and testing, and I was just like blown away. Like Tomahawk chucking this thing into a T barrier without the hood on it, and it still works. I was like, I'm not sure I could do that, or I would want to do that to my EOTech. I don't want to find out. Like, but yeah, so I think that's, yeah, I think that's definitely worth it. And Jake is kind of like our resident like long range guy. He was a long range dude in the Army, sniper. I don't know anything about that stuff. He does, but
yeah, that's a foreign language to me.
I try
and stuff, and I glaze over and I go.
But you know, they make a robust product. The one they got on their pistols, like, I mean, it's almost the same casing well, not the same casing, but you know what I mean. It's the robustness of the. I forget what I called it. I want one. I want to get one. I want to buy one of these days. But you can beat the crap out of that thing, and it maintains 0, and you can even. I'm guilty of the karate chop. So I mean, you can rack that optic, and it's great. So I can only imagine the one they put for an AR platform or a rifle platform is just as good, if not better.
yeah, they're legit.
What do you mean? Don't let me unbox things.
Don't let George unbox things. So the price point on an LP1, I wonder if I can Hold up.
They're doing pre-orders right now, and I think the special that they're running is until Christmas Day, I believe. So, and I don't know about don't quote me on the price. I actually don't know what the price is, but I know the deal that they currently have is running until Christmas Day, I believe. So
I'm gonna see if I can share my screen real quick and kind of show people like
okay.
how much they are. Can you guys see me right now, or am I?
I see you. I
Okay,
see
so
you.
I see you back. I
I'm
don't
still waiting to
actually.
see Jake. I miss your face, buddy.
All right,
I
let
don't
me.
know what my camera's problems.
All right, so I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna go over here to Lead and Steel. All right, sweet. So we're on Lead and Steel. All right, boom. So if you go to Lead and Steel, you can go to what the heck? No, we don't want to go to Vegas. All right, so you go here to
We
back
don't.
order.
No.
No, we don't want to do that. Click on it. Okay, or not. Click on. I don't know what's happening. Jiminy Christmas.
Technology.
All right, I'm having issues. All right, shopping out. Okay, so right now on the website, they're usually $449. They're on sale for $275.95. I know a guy that just bought one yesterday, and he said all in all with shipping and handling and taxes, I think it was like I want to say it was like 307 or 327. I can't remember. I
Which
think it was like,
still is a crazy good deal considering what you get.
right. I'm
Let's
not
say
trying to like go through
competitor
their
to
whole,
EOTech.
yeah, I'm not trying to go through their whole parts list, man, but this compensator, the Epsilon, is a beast. I have that on, yeah, never mind. All right. So, anyways, hopefully that answers the, all right, we're back.
You never left.
Okay, sweet. Right now they are on sale for $250-ish. Yeah, so hopefully that that answers that for you, Clayton. What's he saying? So I run the $200 X2 Vortex rig on my M4 because I won't lose my.
Oh,
Yeah.
we lost Jake.
Jake's gone. Yeah, you ain't lying. So yeah.
Well, then I guess for just a few bucks more, you can run a LP1 and you don't have to worry about it breaking because you probably won't be able to break it.
Yeah, no kidding, man. And
They
you can always
try.
put like a magnifier on it.
They I feel very confident saying that they legitimately tried.
Oh, dude, yeah. I even
Just
tried.
sort of using it as a hammer or a picket pounder. I'm pretty sure that's about the only thing they didn't do.
Like just the one day that we were there at the range with them, they tomahawk chucked it no less than 5 times into a T barrier and on top of gravel. And this is without the hood on it, right? Then after that, yeah. 10-11 Bravo. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we could break anything, right? Use it as a hammer. Yeah. And then they got a piece of AR 500 steel and just repeatedly dropped it. I think like
And dropped it on concrete too.
7 or 8 times before it finally, when they put the hood on it, finally dented the hood in.
Yeah. And dropped it on concrete directly.
So like, so I hope they like show it at some point, man. But they have like the photos and the video of the one without the hood, and it is gnarly looking what it did to it. But it still shoots. Like it's not cracked. It's like I became a believer like real quick. Trying to decide really nice irons, red dot or SPR scope, special purpose. What is that like? What do you mean SPR scope?
I don't know what SPR scope is. I guess it depends on what you want to do though.
Like variable?
Yeah, no.
Like a LPVO? I always say go red dot because you can put a magnifier behind that and you can send it. Like you don't even need a magnifier to be able to reach out to 300 meters.
Do with irons all the time.
Yeah. And I'm not a spokesperson, so we're going to do a review on this site, but like just a disclaimer for the future, here, like our affiliation with Lead and Steel, we've done a lot of work with them, product testing and like internal conversations to help them with product testing. And even a little bit, we've done some work with them, so we're very familiar with one another, our company and theirs. And they did give us, and they did give us this site to test for free. Not for free, but I mean to develop and test it, to run it through the gauntlet and really beat it up good, to see what it can handle. And thus far, pretty impressive. So
super easy to zero.
very. Oh my gosh, out the box, it pretty much comes zeroed.
And it's a true return to zero, right?
Yeah, so you take that off. Actually, well, you can't have firearms moving around on YouTube, but yeah, if I were to throw my newly painted one on my rifle, it's going to be zeroed. Doesn't move, doesn't shift. So it's really good. Hope you're not giving away the beat up one. Dude, you want the beat up one, Matt. Like it's bomb proof essentially.
No, the one we're giving away will be a new one.
Yeah, it will be brand new out the box. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Hopefully it's you that wins. But yeah, that'll be that. All right. So without further, I dropped serious cash for the Duke angled irons on the other M4. Of Christmas present last year. Legit. What is it? Man, I don't think I've seen those. Are those the steel ones?
I think.
Mass, like, I'll take new or beat up. Cool. So we got 14 people out there. I'm feeling like, man, if we're close, we're still at 59 subscribers. I'll tell you what, if we can just get like 41 more subscribers, no big deal.
Right.
We can go ahead and do this drawing like right now tonight. But anyways, gotta have value and best side picture for older eyeballs. Yeah, I might have to get some then.
I might beg to differ though, because this LP1, I have astigmatism, and that thing is about as crisp a sight picture as I've ever seen.
Yeah, I have astigmatism as well. And that's the thing about as we get older, right? Our eyeballs, they get worse, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that it's an LED red dot. So
it's a closed emitter too. And plus, I just remember like looking through your EOTech, fuzzy. It was a little fuzzy. I don't
it's
know
like staring into the sun.
Yeah, it was kind of fuzzy. So, I mean, I'm not denying that I'm old, Kim. But let's not ignore that you're the same age, so we'll be okay there. Yeah, so the LP1, it's very easy on my eyes. Like even it's all turned all the way up to 11 in brightness, it doesn't hurt my eyes. It's still very crisp. It's not too bright. It's really I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, you know what? Like I'm gonna do everybody a favor here real quick. I'm gonna step away for like 1 second and I'm gonna grab it. So stand by.
Go for it. Oh, look, everyone. It's just the two of us now. It's just me and you, everyone. So, in the comments, it's my friends and my wife and my friends just being super nice to me. That's always great. But yeah, I haven't used a holo in a long time, and then looking through Emmett's because he had an EOTech on one of his rifles, and we switch rifles all the time. I'd look through his, and I would see that it was just fuzzy and grainy for me. So then I didn't like shooting through it because I didn't like the fuzzy grainy picture. Then he's back, hopefully with a. There it is.
LP1, freshly painted.
You still have the stickers, the tape over it.
Yeah, I gotta pull this off. There's one layer of tape. Dude, I had to double layer this because I was like, I don't want to get any on the I may have done too good of a job.
You painted it on there.
No, we're good.
There we go.
Well, like you just got to get it all the way in there. If not,
yeah.
Actually, I think I may have messed up.
Uh-oh. Did you get some paint on it?
Nothing major. Good thing about paint is it comes off really easy if you do get it on the lens. All right. It's cold. It's like a brick. It was in my garage. It's literally melting in my hand. It's like... All right. So here we go. This is what it looks like.
Other way.
Wait.
Oh, keep going. Keep going. Other way. There you go. Now you gotta go up or down. Nope, other way. There you go. Oh, kind of got it. There you go.
Why is this so hard? All right, so that's really high up. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Oh, I'm turning it up.
So I've also noticed too sometimes that it's hard to get a good idea on picture quality. There you go. Hey, I have a 2-year-old and he's shouting at me now. There you go. Oh man, you're good at this.
So it's fogging up because it's like really cold in here, but down test. Yeah. So you can see it's not like a product review, but I mean it's got that hood right there, and you can see that it protects like over top of it. It's arced. This is the part that they actually did the testing on without the hood, and it stood up to everything. So it was really good, and you can see how clear that is. Like it's just a little bit blurry because I'm holding it and it's been outside, but it's a really good sight. And if you want yours painted like this, it's really easy. Just get a net. We'll do a video on how to successfully paint your whatever, your rifle, your dots, your gear, all that stuff. What are the pros of having a holographic over standard red dot? So if you were to break the glass on this, which this is a red dot, a LED, right? Essentially, think of it like this: it's being emitted, right? So there's a red. I don't know if you can see it, probably in here. Yeah, you can see there's that little red dot right there. That's emitting an image of a red dot or whatever the pattern is inside of glass that reflects off of glass, right? I wish Ahmad was on here so he could just explain it better.
He would explain it so more efficiently.
And then a holograph image is exactly that. It's whatever. It's a holograph. So you can break the glass on a holographic image and the sight will still work. Typically on LEDs, once you break the housing, like the glass on it, like it's a wrap. You won't be able to just see it because it's not projecting the image. It's just okay. So Eric's asking, how does it stand up to bright sunshine?
Flawlessly.
Well, I did something you shouldn't do, and we're told not to do when we're kids, which is don't look at the sun, right? But I wanted to see, seriously, if I could see it. And yeah. Hey.
Sorry, he's angry. I have to bribe the child. Sorry about that.
She said sorry, the boy escaped.
He did. It's okay.
Yeah, Vanessa Kitty's in the chat. So how does that stand up? So it stands up really good to the bright sun. All right, like the sun is not going to wash it out at all. Like no problems at all. Always more interested in what? The engineering to keep the prism stable through the normal impact, wear and tear. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure like the internal, because like I didn't develop this site, you know, they just kind of gave it to us to test it and whatnot. It is a little heavier than like an EOTech, like an EXPS. But man, this thing it's quality. Like at first, so I have, I can't show my rifle, right? You really do not need a riser for this. A lot of people are like, oh dude, like maybe I should get like a riser for it. And you can, if you want to, if you're used to having like an elevated shooting, a more heads up shooting position. But this thing is already sitting at pretty good amount of height. So you can get a good cheek weld and be in a heads up position. Prism stable through the normal impact, wear and tear. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, man, but this thing is legit. It's a powerhouse. So this one, Vanessa, is the Promethean LP1. It's this guy right here. Yeah. Yep. All right. So, George, you're about to punch out, right?
Yeah, I got to put the boy to sleep.
All right. Everybody say bye to George. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. And you'll see him a lot more as we go forward.
It's a pleasure. Oh, the boy's got to come say bye.
Ronan.
It's his wife. He's coughing for no reason because he thinks coughing is funny right now.
It's funny. I'm getting attention. Stop doing it.
He's judging me. All right, everybody. Until next time. See you on the range.
Later, bro.
Later, bro.
And then it was one. I don't even think I need like headphones in, but I'm going to keep them in. I was going to respond to somebody's message, but I lost it. All right. So yeah, the LP1 is a pretty big beast. Super lucky to kind of be, you know, ingrained with these guys or tied into them, be able to do product testing and whatnot. I like it. Have had no issues with it thus far, but you know, eventually I'm gonna break this thing. I'm gonna figure out how to break it or not. But it really is. It's a beautiful sight. It's got a very big window, and it really doesn't add that much weight to a rifle. A lot of people get wrapped around the axle about weight and ounces and all that stuff and how they do stack up, and they do. But at the end of the day, right now, I would say that like having an extra 6 ounces of weight on a rifle probably doesn't matter, especially if you're running like a tactical light and like a IR laser, visible laser combo. And you're probably, you probably got a substantial amount of weight on the front end of your rifle anyway. So what's a few more ounces? Probably not a big deal. So anyways, that's it. That's our first live chat. That's our introduction to the world, so you can finally see our faces without actually showing up to a training event. Super grateful for everybody that showed up and took part in this. Like we said, we want to be like good ambassadors for the community, and I don't want to repeat everything that we said, so I just won't. But we definitely appreciate all of you stopping by. We look forward to the future with you all. And as always, feel free to reach out to us at any time, ask us questions. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And if all else fails, go out there and have a good night. Have fun. Live free. Get good training. See you on the next one. Bye.